It's been 26 years since American Pie hit theaters, delivering unforgettable laughs, outrageous moments, and a cast that became instantly iconic. The film turned Jason Biggs, Alyson Hannigan, Seann William Scott, and their co-stars into household names, leading to sequels and long-lasting careers. But not everyone stayed in the spotlight. While some have thrived in Hollywood, starring in hit shows and films, others have taken different paths, stepping away from fame or facing personal struggles. As we look back on this cult classic, let's catch up with the stars of American Pie and see where they are in 2025. Linda Geringer was 45 when she played Vicky's mom, bringing warmth and authenticity to her small yet memorable role. Though respected in theater and television, she never became a Hollywood star, spending much of her later years struggling for meaningful work. She remained dedicated to her craft, taking supporting roles in various TV dramas and stage productions, but the lack of mainstream recognition weighed heavily on her. She never married or had children, and as she aged, her isolation grew. In 2023, she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer, which drained her both physically and emotionally. Despite undergoing treatment, the disease progressed rapidly, leaving her frail and in constant pain. She spent her final months in hospice, with only a handful of close friends by her side, her once vibrant presence reduced to a fading shadow. On May 17, 2024, she passed away at the age of 70. Jason Biggs was 21 when he played Jim in American Pie, 1999, portraying the awkward yet well-meaning teenager struggling through the chaos of adolescence. The role brought him instant fame, but it also became a curse. He was forever associated with the bumbling, sexually frustrated character. Despite attempts to branch out, he was typecast in raunchy comedies, and his career began to decline. He turned to television and voice acting to stay afloat, but the high-profile film roles never returned. His marriage to actress Jenny Mollen was initially strong, but their relationship became strained as he battled substance abuse and depression. Public controversies and personal demons further alienated him from the industry. Now, at 46, he lives a largely reclusive life, occasionally appearing in minor projects, but the promise of his early stardom has long since faded, leaving him struggling to reclaim even a fraction of his former success. Chris Klein played Oz in American Pie, 1999, at 20. Portraying a kind-hearted jock who sought deeper emotional connections beyond his stereotypical role. His career initially seemed promising, with standout performances in Election, 1999, and Here on Earth, 2000, but Hollywood's interest in him quickly faded. By the mid-2000s, his struggles with alcoholism led to multiple DUI arrests, lost roles, and a stint in rehab in 2010. He married travel agent Lena Rose Thiefalt in 2015, and they had a son, Frederick, but Klein's continued battles with addiction and depression placed strain on the marriage, leading to their quiet separation in 2022. His attempts to revive his career through low-budget films and television guest roles were largely unsuccessful, leaving him financially and emotionally drained. Now 46 in 2025, he lives in near obscurity, his health deteriorating from years of substance abuse. Jennifer Coolidge was 38 when she played Stifler's mom, the confident and seductive older woman who became an unlikely cultural icon. The role made her a household name, but it also trapped her in a cycle of playing exaggerated, comedic characters, preventing her from landing the dramatic roles she longed for. She spent years being overlooked in Hollywood, facing rejection after rejection, leading to deep self-doubt and a growing sense of isolation. Though she eventually found acclaim with The White Lotus, she admitted in interviews that she had spent decades feeling lonely, regretting never marrying or having children. While she is now celebrated as a late career success story, the years of rejection left scars that never fully healed. At 63, she continues working, but behind the laughter and fame lies a life filled with missed opportunities and the quiet ache of being truly alone when the cameras stop rolling. Alyson Hannigan was 25 when she played Michelle, the quirky and unpredictable band geek whose iconic one-liners became some of the film's most memorable moments. She later found success on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and How I Met Your Mother, but once those shows ended, she struggled to find her footing in an industry that often discards actresses as they age. While her marriage to Alexis Denisof endured, it was not without difficulties, as the pressures of Hollywood and career instability weighed on them. With fewer acting opportunities, she turned to hosting and reality television, but these projects never reignited her stardom. Now, at 50, she remains in Hollywood but largely on the sidelines, painfully aware that her best years are behind her, clinging to nostalgia while grappling with the fear that she may never experience true success again. Shannon Elizabeth was 26 when she played Nadia, the exotic and alluring exchange student who became an instant sensation. Though American Pie propelled her to fame, Hollywood quickly discarded her, reducing her to little more than a fleeting sex symbol. She struggled to find serious roles, eventually turning to professional poker, where she found temporary success, only to suffer significant financial losses. Her marriage to Joseph Reitman ended in divorce, and she never remarried or had children, instead devoting herself to animal activism. While her cause brings her fulfillment, the sting of Hollywood's rejection lingers. She occasionally appears in low-budget films or nostalgia-driven reunions, but her former fame is a distant memory. Now, at 51, she lives a quiet life outside the spotlight, her days of red carpets and leading roles long behind her, left with the haunting realization that she was once celebrated but never truly valued. Clyde Kusatsu was 51 when he played the English teacher in American Pie, 1999, portraying a wise and patient mentor to his students. Despite decades in Hollywood, he was often cast in minor, stereotypical Asian roles, never breaking into mainstream stardom. This lack of recognition wore on him over the years, as he watched younger actors surpass him while he remained largely overlooked. His marriage, once strong, suffered under the weight of his professional frustrations and financial concerns, leaving his relationship with his wife distant and strained. His children, frustrated by his emotional absence, became estranged, adding to his growing loneliness. In his later years, he battled heart disease and worsening arthritis, limiting his ability to work. Now 76 in 2025, he lives a quiet, reclusive life, appearing only occasionally at conventions where he is recognized by nostalgic fans. Natasha Lyonne was 20 when she played Jessica in American Pie, 1999, portraying the sharp-witted, no-nonsense voice of reason in her friend group. Off-screen, however, her life was anything but stable. She battled heroin addiction, suffered multiple arrests, and in 2005, nearly died from a heart infection caused by drug abuse. After years of struggle, she staged a remarkable comeback with Orange is the New Black, earning acclaim and finding new opportunities in Hollywood. However, her personal life remained turbulent. Her long-term relationship with Fred Armisen was marked by constant breakups and reconciliations, ultimately ending in a painful split in 2023. Lyonne never married or had children, instead throwing herself into work to distract from her deep-seated loneliness. Health issues lingered from her past substance abuse, and anxiety continued to plague her daily life. Now 45 in 2025, she still acts but lives in solitude, haunted by past demons she can never fully escape. Eugene Levy was 53 when he played Jim's dad in American Pie, 1999, portraying an awkward yet well-meaning father whose embarrassing advice provided both humor and heart. Despite a long career in comedy, he remained in the shadow of more prominent comedic actors until Schitt's Creek, 2015 to 2020, gave him a long-overdue resurgence. However, after the show's success faded, Levy struggled with feelings of professional irrelevance once again. Though his marriage to Deborah Devine endured, he often wrestled with self-doubt and the fear of becoming a relic of the past. Aging took a toll on his health, with deteriorating eyesight and arthritis limiting his ability to work as frequently as before. His former comedic energy had waned, leaving him feeling like a shell of his former self. Now 78 in 2025, he remains respected but largely retired, appearing only in occasional nostalgic retrospectives. Chris Owen was 19 when he played Chuck Shermanator Sherman in American Pie, 1999, a socially awkward teen who saw himself as a futuristic ladies' man but was instead the subject of ridicule. While the film's success brought fame to many of his co-stars, Owen struggled to find lasting success in Hollywood. He landed minor roles in direct-to-video films and TV cameos, but none led to a breakthrough. By the late 2000s, work dried up, forcing him to take a job as a waiter in a sushi restaurant, a stark contrast to his brief Hollywood stardom. His 2007 marriage to Michelle Beck ended in divorce within a few years, leaving him alone and struggling financially. Depression and the industry's rejection pushed him into isolation, and he avoided the spotlight, embarrassed by his fall from fame. Now 44 in 2025, he occasionally takes small acting jobs, but his career remains stagnant. He lives quietly, still carrying the weight of Hollywood's indifference, a cautionary tale of fleeting fame and unfulfilled dreams. Thomas Ian Nicholas was 19 when he played Kevin in American Pie, 1999, the devoted boyfriend desperately trying to maintain his high school romance. His career never matched the early promise of his youth, with failed attempts at both acting and music leaving him struggling financially. Though he landed occasional roles in indie films and minor television appearances, he was never able to fully recapture his former success. His marriage to DJ Colette in 2007 produced 2 children, Nolan and Zoe, but constant career disappointments and financial instability led to a contentious divorce in 2021, leaving him emotionally and financially drained. Forced to rely on fan conventions and small bar performances to stay afloat, Nicholas found himself increasingly disconnected from the industry that once embraced him. Now 44 in 2025, he continues to perform in small venues, desperately clinging to the remnants of his former fame. Lawrence Pressman was 60 when he portrayed Coach Marshall in American Pie, the stern but caring school authority figure. By then, he had already built a long and respectable career in television and film, often playing paternal or authoritative roles. However, as the years went by, his acting opportunities became scarce, leaving him to take on smaller guest roles. The biggest personal tragedy of his life came in 2007 when his wife, actress Lana Saunders, passed away from multiple sclerosis, leaving him devastated. He became more withdrawn, especially as his only son struggled with addiction issues that brought him further heartache. His health began to deteriorate in his later years, with Parkinson's disease robbing him of his once commanding presence. In 2024, complications from pneumonia led to his death at 85, marking the end of a long but quietly tragic life, filled with personal loss and the slow erasure of the career he had once thrived in. Seann William Scott was 23 when he took on the role of Steve Stifler, the loud-mouthed, crude, and unforgettable party animal of American Pie. Though the character became iconic, it also became a curse, as Scott was forever typecast and struggled to secure serious acting roles. While he found success in comedies like Role Models and The Rundown, his career declined in the 2010s. Privately, he battled severe depression, entering rehab in 2011 for alcoholism. Despite appearing strong and upbeat in public, he struggled with the pressure of maintaining a Hollywood career that had peaked too soon. His marriage to interior designer Olivia Kornberg in 2019 ended in 2023, and he never had children. Now 48 in 2025, he lives a private life, away from the industry that once adored him but ultimately offered him little beyond one defining role. His days of being Hollywood's go-to comedic wild card are long gone, leaving him to wrestle with his own fading relevance. Tara Reid was 29 when she played Vicky, the sweet but insecure girlfriend in American Pie, a role that initially positioned her as one of Hollywood's next big stars. She went on to appear in successful films like Josie and the Pussycats and Van Wilder, but her career unraveled due to reckless partying, a series of bad plastic surgeries, and public scandals. She was engaged multiple times, including to Carson Daly, but none of her relationships lasted, and she never married. Though she once expressed a desire to have children, she never did, leaving her with a deep sense of loneliness. Frequent substance abuse and multiple stints in rehab failed to help her regain stability, and she became a tabloid fixture for all the wrong reasons. By 2025, at 49, she clings to reality TV and nostalgic appearances at conventions, trying desperately to hold on to the fame that once seemed so promising but ultimately left her behind. Mena Suvari was 20 when she played Heather, the sweet and idealistic choir girl in American Pie. At the time, she was hailed as one of Hollywood's brightest young talents, especially after her acclaimed performance in American Beauty. However, despite early success, her career took a sharp downturn as leading roles disappeared. Struggling to stay relevant, she took on low-budget films and reality TV appearances. Her personal life was equally tumultuous, with 3 failed marriages that left her emotionally exhausted. She finally had a son in 2021, but her struggles with postpartum depression made motherhood a difficult journey. Suvari has also been open about her traumatic past, revealing in later years that she was a victim of prolonged sexual abuse, which left deep emotional scars. Now 46 in 2025, she occasionally acts but remains on the fringes of the industry, her early promise long overshadowed by struggles both personal and professional. Eddie K. Thomas was 19 when he portrayed Finch, the sharp-witted, intellectual member of the group, whose refined demeanor set him apart, most notably in his infamous affair with Stifler's mom. Despite this breakout role, Thomas struggled to maintain a stable career. While he found some success in Harold and Kumar and the animated series American Dad, he never reached the Hollywood A-list. His career decline led to personal turmoil. He was romantically linked to several women, but his longest relationship ended in a messy breakup, with accusations of manipulation and emotional instability. The lack of work and growing isolation pushed him into alcohol abuse, leading to an arrest in 2023 for public intoxication after a drunken altercation outside a Los Angeles bar. His financial situation worsened as he relied on residuals, eventually being forced into a modest, nearly dilapidated apartment. Now, in 2025, he is 44 and remains largely out of the public eye, making occasional appearances in low-budget projects. Christina Milian was 18 when she appeared as a band member, a minor role that barely registered in American Pie, yet she later gained fame as a singer and actress. Her early 2000s music career flourished with hits like Dip It Low, but industry conflicts and unsuccessful albums led to her downfall. Despite acting gigs in films and TV, she never reclaimed her early success. Her personal life was equally turbulent. She was engaged multiple times, but relationships often ended in heartbreak. She married in 2020, but by 2023, the marriage crumbled amid rumors of infidelity, leading to a bitter divorce battle. Raising 2 children alone while struggling financially, she turned to social media endorsements and reality TV appearances to stay afloat. Once a rising star, by 2025, at 43, she watches younger artists dominate the industry while she struggles to remain relevant, her dreams of lasting fame long behind her. Molly Cheek was 49 when she played Jim's loving and supportive mother in American Pie, 1999, a character who provided warmth and stability amidst the chaos of her son's misadventures. Her performance resonated with audiences, and she became fondly remembered for the role. However, after her time in the American Pie franchise, her acting opportunities became less frequent, and she gradually stepped away from Hollywood. Unlike her on-screen persona, her real life did not revolve around the spotlight, and she chose to live a more private existence. Despite her reduced presence in the entertainment industry, Cheek has remained active in various creative pursuits over the years. She has largely avoided the public eye, preferring a quieter life outside of Hollywood's relentless pace. Now, in 2025, at the age of 75, she continues to live a peaceful and private life, reflecting on her career which left a lasting impression on audiences who fondly remember her warm and reassuring screen presence. Sacha Baron was 18 when she played Courtney in American Pie, 1999, portraying a high school student immersed in the film's chaotic teenage social scene. She later appeared in the Hangover trilogy, but Hollywood never fully embraced her, and meaningful roles remained elusive. Frustrated, she turned to professional poker, a high-stakes world that provided temporary financial relief but failed to fill the void left by acting. She married and had children, but the instability of her career and financial strains led to deep dissatisfaction and frequent marital conflicts. Repeated rejection in Hollywood shattered her confidence, leading to struggles with anxiety and self-doubt. Now 43, she lives in near obscurity, having walked away from the industry that once held so much promise, burdened by the weight of unfulfilled dreams and a career that never truly took off. Woody Schultz was 31 when he played Party Guy, a background character who embodied the wild and reckless spirit of teenage house parties. Unlike his fun-loving role, his real life was filled with hardship. Struggling to find steady acting work, he bounced between small theater productions, low-budget films, and various odd jobs. His financial instability led to depression, and a short-lived marriage in his 40s ended in acrimony, pushing him further into isolation. By 2022, he was battling severe alcoholism, losing what little he had left. He moved between cheap motels and eventually became homeless. In October 2024, he was found dead in a rundown Las Vegas motel room from an overdose, alone and forgotten at 56. His death received little media attention, a tragic ending for someone who once embodied youthful energy, now just another lost soul in Hollywood's long list of tragedies. John Cho was 27 when he played MILF Guy in American Pie, 1999, his hilarious line making him a cult favorite. Unlike many of his co-stars, he found lasting success, starring in Harold and Kumar, Star Trek, and critically acclaimed films. However, behind the scenes, his success came at a heavy personal cost. His marriage to Carrie Iguchi, though appearing stable, suffered due to his constant filming schedules and long separations. Rumors of affairs haunted them, leading to periods of estrangement. In 2019, a severe knee injury on Cowboy Bebop halted his career, leaving him in physical and emotional agony. The pressures of being one of Hollywood's few leading Asian actors weighed heavily on him, leading to struggles with self-worth. Now 52, he continues acting but remains deeply affected by Hollywood's brutal treatment of aging actors and the industry's fickle loyalty. Eli Marienthal was 13 when he played Stifler's younger brother in American Pie, 1999, a mischievous and chaotic presence that added to the film's humor. Though his early career showed promise with roles in Jack and Bobby and voicing Robin and Batman, Mystery of the Batwoman, he soon disappeared from Hollywood, choosing to focus on his education at UC Berkeley. Despite his academic achievements, he struggled with a deep sense of unfulfilled potential, watching former co-stars thrive while he faded into obscurity. A long-term college relationship ended bitterly, leaving him emotionally withdrawn and distrustful of love. Never marrying or having children, he drifted through life, battling depression and anxiety in silence. Attempts to return to the entertainment industry failed, leaving him tutoring students in Oakland, where he now leads a quiet, lonely existence at 39 in 2025, haunted by the lingering thought that he was meant for something more. James DeBello was 19 when he played enthusiastic guy in American Pie, his over-the-top energy adding to the film's wild party atmosphere. Initially, Hollywood seemed full of promise. He landed roles in Cabin Fever, Scary Movie 2, and other early 2000s cult hits. But as he struggled to transition beyond the comedic frat boy archetype, the offers dwindled, and his career began to slip away. A passionate romance with an up-and-coming actress ended in a bitter breakup, sending him into a spiral of substance abuse and erratic behavior. Failed auditions, financial missteps, and an increasing reliance on alcohol left him with little more than minor roles in obscure indie films. He never married or had children, and as the years passed, his name faded from public memory. By 2025, at 44, he lives on the fringes of the industry in Los Angeles, occasionally appearing at conventions, his once promising career now a distant memory overshadowed by regret and lost potential. Eden Regal was 18 when she played the sophomore chick in American Pie, 1999, adding to the film's chaotic high school atmosphere. Though she later gained fame as Bianca Montgomery in All My Children, her career struggled with inconsistency, as she was often overlooked for major roles. Hollywood's relentless rejection took a toll on her self-esteem. She married screenwriter Andrew Miller in 2011, and they had 2 sons, Jack and Henry, but the demands of motherhood and a fading career created tension. Financial instability loomed as acting work dried up, forcing her to rely on sporadic voice roles. Depression and anxiety crept in, exacerbated by feelings of irrelevance in the industry. Once a rising star, she now lives a quiet, reclusive life at 44, far removed from the Hollywood spotlight, struggling to find purpose outside of an industry that has long since moved on. Who is your favorite character from American Pie? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.